Be up, guys. Apologies for the lateness. I've had issues with the Wi-Fi, so that's why I'm late. This was supposed to be 6 o'clock. This stream, but oh well. I'm actually here now, so let's get on with it, I suppose. Yeah, because I do want to rant a little bit, to be honest, with what's going on at the bees now. Not good. Anyway, as Warren, be up to you, bro. Thanks for coming on the stream earlier, the cricket stream. Thank you. Many thanks for that, geezer. Brilliant. Go on, mate, let rip. Yeah, I probably will. Because I'm fucking annoyed with what's going on with the bees. And there is a link there, guys, if anyone does want to hop on and have a chat about the bees or whatever else. Well, mainly the transfers, obviously, I suppose, and the fact that it looks like Keith Andrews is definitely going to join us. Has been a deal agreed. And we've also lost another player, of course, in Christian Norgarrd. He's gone to Arsenal now. No one jumped ship. What's wrong? Have we got a hole in the fucking boat or something? Why are they all jumping out? Who knows? But anyway, I'll get on with it and talk about it, I suppose. Kev Flavin, rumour is Damien Duff is coming in as his assistant after leaving Shelbourne last week. But yeah, I know Kev, but thing is, mate, he's dismissed it, apparently. So it doesn't look like he is going to be joining us as assistant. Well, not as far as we know. You never know, that could change, couldn't it? Look how quickly it's changed here, isn't it? Thomas Frank goes. And so a lot of our players are going now. That's not good, is it? I'm not happy about it. Be up to you, Harry. Honey gun there. Hi, bro. Hope you've had a good day. Yeah, man. It's been all right. It's been good. Apart from having to go into all this shit, basically. Don't really want to, but I've got to. Because it's all just fucking going to shit now at the bees. Anyway, let's go into the articles here. And what should we start with? I think we'll chat about Norgarrd. Our captain, our glue in midfield. No longer. The glue has been unstuck. And he's going to Arsenal. Well, there's an interesting article actually. It's saying, we you know, it's a wise thing to let him go. Yeah, he's 31, so he's getting older. But I still think he was great. I think it was his best season last season, I thought. And don't generally get many goals, but I think he got 6 or 7 last season. That's the most he's ever got. He's not really classed as an attacking midfielder. But he did get some good goals, important goals for us last season. So, you know, but there we go. But I will go into this article and about it all. Hold on a minute. Trying to find the right one here. And the actual price for him that I've seen is 11 million. Although I believe in the Mirror, although you can't really believe the Mirror always, it's 17 million. And we've actually made more on him than we bought him for. Because I think it's 2.8 million we bought him from. I think it's Bromby all those years ago. A few years back now. So we have made money on him. But I think it's this. Yeah, hold on. This one, guys. this was before I think he actually signed for for Arsenal. I'll just look at these comments first. Read that. Kev again. It would be very important Andrews brings in an experienced backroom team to have a strong network around him to make up for his lack of managerial experience. Well, apparently we know what we're doing here. Apparently this guy's never had managerial experience before. He's only been a set-piece coach, and he's been assistant or whatever elsewhere, I believe at Sheffield United, and where is it, in Ireland, Republic of Ireland, I think, and things like that. But apparently we do know what we're doing here, and I hope we do, because this could turn to shit. It could be really bad. And we've got to get this guy in before we're supposed to get at least some players in. And obviously this Anthony Milambo is apparently happening, that he's coming. That's another one I'll be getting into very soon. In talking about him. Warren again, please everyone check out Mr. B Chats England Cricket. Yeah. Show earlier reviewing the first test match was epic, exactly. And he was on it. Yeah, Warren was on it as well. So, check that out. And his channel, of course, Warren's Team Talk. Brilliant. Go and check that out, guys. The Saskia Guna. Bees rebuild. Thanks for your captain for cheap. Should do well back up. But we had a reason for selling him to you for cheap. Apparently it's here. Maybe we're thinking he's had his best days. And I'll read this in a minute. There was a cunning plan after all to all this. Did Bramo deal go through? Then time to spend Brentford? Well, he still ain't quite gone through. I believe we're still pushing for 63 million. Whether United are going to do that, I don't know. But I know apparently a deal's been accepted, I think. Frank and all going, seems. Yeah. Well, Visser could go. I mean, at the end of the day, though, we're getting loads of money in. So we can replace them all, can't we? Well, I hope we can. I hope that's the plan. We've got a plan B to replace all these. Kelleher better be good and then get by now with some good Bramo money, yeah. We're making plenty of money. We're making money from Norgarrd now, as well as at Bramo. So whoever else happens to go, we'll be getting money for. So we actually are still making profit off this. So believe it or not, I know I don't like it, the fact we're getting rid of all these players are going, and the fact we keep saying we're a selling club. We shouldn't be now, surely, in the Premier. I really hated that we're still a selling club. Apparently, I think Frank came out and said it. So, not sure that was a good idea to say that, to be honest, because seems like we are selling a lot now. But anyway, I'll go through this article. Why Arsenal want to sign Christian Norgarrd, which apparently, they already have. And why Brentford are willing to let him go. Arsenal are closing in on the signing of midfielder Christian Norgarrd from Brentford. Haters and Mirror Sport first reported Arsenal's interest in the Danish midfielder last week. I never really believed it until now, especially with it being through the Mirror and everything. Can't always trust them, but obviously it was true. Last week, Arsenal has since made their move for the 31-year-old. The news that Arsenal were targeting Norgarrd came as a surprise to many. But it's a move which makes a lot of sense for boss Mikel Arteta. He had already lost veteran midfielder Jorginho this summer, who has joined Brazilian side Flamengo. Thomas Partey is also likely to leave, having yet to sign a new contract with the club. Martin Zubimendi's long-awaited arrival could still leave a gap in the holding midfield for Arteta. One which Norgarrd would fill. Zubimendi is set to be the party replacement as the first choice holding midfielder, with Norgarrd supplying the Jorginho minutes. I think he'd be better than Jorginho, let's put it that way, definitely. He is better than him. Norgarrd has been one of the most consistent holding midfielders in the Premier League over the past few years. He has played 122 times in the Premier League across 4 top-flight seasons with Brentford. He has been a big part of establishing the Bees as a mid-table team following promotion from the Championship. His strong record of availability is crucial for Arsenal given their nightmare with injuries last season. He missed 16 Premier League games across the 21-22 campaign, but has played more than 30 times in each of his other 3 seasons he has played in the top flight, including 34 times this season. More than anything, however, he provides protection in front of the back four in the absence of Partey. He ranked among the best central midfield players in Europe's top 5 leagues for tackles, 74th percentage, I don't know, percentile, saying there. Interceptions, 90th percentile. Blocks, 88th percentile. Clearances, 84th percentile. And aerial duels, 84th percentile last season. His ability to sense danger and make interceptions is at an extraordinary high level. As his ability to play forward on the first or second touch. His former boss, Thomas Frank, now of Arsenal's rivals Tottenham, said last season, and he has picked up his goal threat this season. Exactly, yes, he did. The first time I coached Christian, he was a number 10. Now he's one of the best defensive midfielders in the Premier League. Moreover, Norgarrd also brings the size and physicality Arteta values so highly too. At 6'1", tall, and with a strong physique, one of last season's Gunners signings, Mikel Merino, noted the height of the Arsenal squad after joining last summer, saying, "We look like a basketball team now. Football now has changed and now you need a strong team. Physicality is key. We need to be the most complete team possible." That size and physicality also helps Norgarrd pose a threat at set pieces and in the air. Among his 5 Premier League goals, so it's just 5, I thought it was a bit more, but anyway, 5 goals, it's still more than he usually gets. Among his 5 Premier League goals last season included 3 headed goals, which came from a free kick in the 4-2 win against Brighton, from another free kick in a 4-0 win over Leicester, and a powerful header from a whipped cross against Man City. Norgarrd is not someone who is comfortable driving forward and dribbling with the ball, preferring to get his passes off quicker and keep the ball moving instead. His lack of pace is a reason for that, and he can be left vulnerable if opposition teams break quickly. There are concerns that he has slowed down in the past couple of years too. Brentford selling their skipper for a modest fee believed to be around 10 million to 15 million might come as a surprise, but it is a bet that they have already gotten the best out of Norgarrd, while recouping a decent fee for him with 2 years still left on his deal. They are allowing a loyal player who signed a new deal earlier this year to protect his value for the club instead of leaving for free to make the move he wants to. Norgarrd likely will not start too many games over Zubimendi, but would provide important backup for the Spaniard while also bringing different strengths to the table. He could prove to be a valuable asset off the bench too, if Arsenal need more midfield solidity when wanting to preserve a lead. And for a transfer fee and wages which do not look like they will have too much of an impact on Arsenal's balance sheet, this appears to be a sensible move for the club. Probably a bit better that we got that often than we did with Raya, because they fucked us a bit over Raya, didn't they? Let's be honest. Brentford have sold Bramo and Norgarrd well below value, in my opinion. They shouldn't have let them go for less than 170 mil. Yeah, you're probably right there, Warren. But there we go. Ain't a lot we can do, is there? We still got a bit more than we ever paid for them, I suppose. So let's be honest. You got them both fairly cheap, Norgarrd and Bramo. So we actually have recouped a bit on them, to be honest. So I'd like that what you just said, but that was never going to happen, unfortunately. So that's the way it seems to be. It is what it is. So we have to kind of accept it. I accepted it when obviously I had to accept it when Thomas went. I knew that was always on the cards. He was going to leave at some stage, of course. But I just didn't think it'd be quite yet. And to Tottenham. Why Spurs? But then again, they are in Europe, I suppose. You've got to say that. They were formerly a big team in the top six. I still think they're only a giant in name now. But maybe Thomas might rectify that and get them back up there again. Possibly into the top six, maybe. I don't think there'll be a top four or anything. Definitely not top four. And certainly not the Premier. They're not going to win that. Possibly Carabao Cup or something, FA Cup. And, I suppose he wanted to go. He's had a great long time with us. He hasn't just gone straight away. He didn't jump ship immediately. He stayed here a good time for a fair amount of years. So in the end, yeah, let him go. He's gone. He's gone to Spurs. So good luck to him there, I suppose, really. But then it's also now we got to, replace these players, the likes of Norgarrd, the likes of Bramo. And we're obviously looking at deals, we're looking at players, but it's still important we get the manager through the door as well. And it looks like it's going to be Keith Andrews. So, and I'll definitely get onto that very soon, talking about him. See, this was the one actually in the mirror about Norgarrd. And it being the mirror, it's more. They're saying that the deal comes to more. So whether you can believe this or what, I don't know. They're saying the mirror never lies, doesn't it? Or is that the camera? I don't know. The mirror never, well, I don't think the mirror lies, to be honest, either. So, except this mirror does, let's be honest. But anyway, yeah, Brentford strike £17 million transfer deal after authorising Christian Norgarrd's Arsenal medical. If it is 17 million, we'd be quite happy with that, to be quite honest with you. That probably is the add-on, so that's why it's 17 million, I would say. And actually, I wouldn't mind this. I mean, 17 million, considering we paid 2.8 for him, that's actually a fair profit, to be honest, if this is to be believed. Brentford have moved quickly to strengthen their midfield ranks in light of Christian Norgarrd's impending switch across London to Arsenal. So this is obviously as well about Milambo here. So this is correct with that. They're right about this, at least, definitely. Because we are going for this Milambo. Brentford are set to sign Holland under-21 international starlet Anthony Milambo, and he played last night, of course, against England under-21. And he looked very good. I rate him. He looks a talent. So very, very promising. So it could be a good signing, and only 20 mil, apparently. Brentford have broadly agreed a deal to sign 20-year-old Feyenoord attacking midfielder Anthony Milambo. The transfer expected to be worth an initial... is this it then? For him? Oh, right. Oh, yeah, this is it. It's not for Norgarrd. This is for him, Anthony Milambo. Right. I thought it was going to be for Norgarrd, but there we go. Well, it probably is still a profit, 11 million if that's what we pay for. That's what they paid for Norgarrd. If Arsenal paid that, yeah. Brentford have broadly agreed a deal to sign 20-year-old Feyenoord attacking midfielder Anthony Milambo. The transfer expected to be worth an initial £17 million plus £4.25 million in bonuses. Has been in the works for around 2 months. Mirror Football first reported the Bees' interest in early May. And talks were open between the parties during Thomas Frank's final weeks at the club. The Dane personally approved the arrival of Milambo, but the West London outfit have had to show patience throughout the process to the highly rated Dutch starlet, as he has been away at the Under-21s European Championships in Slovakia with Orange. Milambo started Wednesday's 2-1 semi-final defeat to England in Bratislava, and he's now poised to finalise his switch to the GTEC Community Stadium as he prepares to embark on a new chapter in the Premier League. Sources close to Milambo believe Brentford are viewed as the perfect club for his development after the Bees presented their project in detail towards the end of 24-25 season, winning over the player during initial discussions. The personal terms have been in place for over a month, even though Milambo has also indicated during an interview with ESPN NL that he could yet stay at De Kuip. In Rotterdam, there is a level of frustration and that they're losing one of the club's most promising talents. But there's also a degree of satisfaction regarding the final fee, as the player only has 2 years left to run on his current contract. Milambo became Feyenoord's youngest ever debutant at 16 years and 131 days old in August 2021 under Liverpool boss Arne Slot, and he made 29 Eredivisie appearances last season, scoring 3 goals. Not a lot of goals, but still. The Netherlands under-21 starlet also put his name up in lights earlier in the campaign when he netted 3 times in the Champions League. Yeah, including an impressive brace against Benfica. He will team up with international teammate Sepp Vandenberg in the capital and looks set to become the first arrival of the Keith Andrews era. Although Brentford are yet to formally confirm the appointment of the Irishman, it won't be long though. Won't be long. That happening. There are still some small details to finalise, but news of Milambo's arrival comes as a major boost for Brentford after they reluctantly agreed the departure of club captain Christian Norgarrd to Arsenal. The Gunners launched a shock approach for the 31-year-old who only penned a new 2-year Bees deal in March. On Wednesday morning, and by the end of the day, both clubs reached an agreement worth an estimated £10 million plus bonuses. Brentford have authorised Norgarrd to travel for his Arsenal medical just months after he rejected multiple offers from overseas to depart the GTEC on a free transfer and collect more cash in wages. Milambo is not considered a direct replacement for Norgarrd, even though he can play as a number 8 as well as a number 10. So there you go. That was obviously what I was going to talk about a bit later on, obviously him. But that obviously turned out to be that deal for him, for Milambo. So, but yeah, this is the one. It's obviously saying more about Norgarrd. And this is in gold, obviously. Gold.com. Arsenal wrap up £11 million Euros deal for Brentford midfielder Christian Norgarrd in double quick time as Thomas Partey heads for exit. Arsenal have agreed an €11 million, €9 million, €30 million deal to sign Christian Norgarrd from Brentford per Fabrizio Romano. what happened? Arsenal are keen to strengthen their central midfield options and have agreed a deal to sign Brentford's Norgarrd as a midfield replacement. Jorginho has already confirmed his exit from the Emirates Stadium, while no new contract has been agreed with Thomas Partey, who currently looks set to leave as a free agent. The bigger picture, per Romano, Brentford have given Norgarrd permission to travel for a medical after he agreed personal terms with the Gunners. However, the Denmark international is unlikely to be their main recruit in central midfield, with a deal for Real Sociedad's Martin Zubimendi expected to be announced in the coming weeks. Did you know Norgarrd joined Brentford in 2019? That wasn't really that long ago, was it? Let's be honest. Helping them win promotion to the Premier League under compatriot Thomas Frank. Frank has recently taken over from Ange Postecoglou as Tottenham manager, meaning the two Danes could come up against each other in the North London derby. What next for Arsenal? Arsenal are expected to finalise a deal for goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga soon. I think it's happened, I believe, already. I think, having triggered a £5 million release clause in the Spaniards' Chelsea contract, while they are also hoping to land striker Victor Gyökeres from Sporting CP. Right, I think that's about it. Yeah. And this one is more about Milambo, I think. Yeah, this one. Oh, I'm sorry. No, where is it now? Oh, this is the one. Sorry, it's just moving a bit slowly, guys, the Wi-Fi. As I say, I've already had shit with it, so this is not a surprise. It hasn't come up. Oh, well. Let's get back to it and... Right. There's another comment here from the Saskiguna. City versus Juve soon. Huh? Yeah. Expect Juve to win that. I don't know. That's that World Club Championships, isn't it? Yeah. We'll see. Probably, it might be City though. Who knows? The Saskiguna signing your Super CB from Valencia, Christian Mosquera. Nice. Oh, right. Okay. I don't understand why Norgarrd, that's Warren here, I don't want to understand why Norgarrd would want to go to Arsenal. He would never win anything with Teta in control, yeah. And his career will nosedive. Also, Bramo, why leave Brentford to join the club? Yeah, I know what you're saying. Who will be in a relegation dogfight next season? Well, maybe they won't. I think probably with him there, they probably won't, to be honest. He's going to improve them, surely. Even though they've got Cunha as well now, of course. It's just a real proper striker they lack. And we know how bad their strikers are, Man United. So, I guess if they do get Gyökeres instead, I think Arsenal may be getting Sesko and not Gyökeres. But I think Gyökeres would be the better one. And that'd be great for them, Man United. I don't like them either, like you don't, Warren, but if they get him, I'm sure they'll do well. They got Gyökeres. Brentford agreed deal to sign Anthony Milambo, which obviously went through with the Mirror. The 20-year-old Brentford have reportedly reached a deal to sign highly rated midfielder Anthony Milambo from Feyenoord, The 20-year-old, regarded as one of the Eredivisie's top prospects, has been courted by Brentford for the past 3 months. Talks between Brentford and Feyenoord have progressed swiftly in recent days, with both clubs agreeing on an initial £17 million fee plus add-ons. Milambo has given his approval for a potential switch to Brentford and is expected to arrive in London soon to finalise the move. A regular at the youth international level for the Netherlands, he has been compared to Ryan Gravenberch for his blend of control and progressive play from midfield. Milambo had been in action for the Netherlands at the European Under-21s Championship, but was recently knocked out by England in Wednesday's semi-final. He made his professional debut for Feyenoord at just 16 years old, becoming the youngest debutant in the club's history. After spending 2 seasons on the periphery of the first team, Milambo was handed a more prominent role this season. He featured 42 times across all competitions, recording 7 goals and as many assists. While he may not be expected to start immediately, Milambo's versatility in midfield makes him a shrewd acquisition for Brentford as they prepare to bid farewell to skipper Christian Norgarrd. Norgarrd is set to join Arsenal after an agreement was struck yesterday to take him to the Emirates Stadium. Milambo will be Brentford's first signing of the summer transfer window, but further additions are expected. Well, it should be now, if we're getting rid of a load. We will be, won't we? Brentford are close to parting ways with talisman Brian Bramo and will need a replacement. Yeah, exactly. No shit, Sherlock. Right, so... yeah, go to this one now. And obviously talking about Bramo, we go to this one. Right. Another one from Saskia Guna here. Comment, Brentford should sign Canadians good value, make profits and don't cost much. Well, we were after Jonathan David at one stage, Saskia Guna. Maybe we could look at that again, especially if we lose Visser. That'd be a great buy if we could get him, Jonathan David, you know. He definitely had some goals to us. We were trying to buy him at one stage, of course. I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, yeah, hashtag winning. Yeah. Milambo would be a good yeah, he would be. He looks good and great promise. And, you know, a younger option, 23. You know, replacing Norgarrd with a very young option. Not 23, I think 20, sorry. So, yeah, it's a lot younger option there. He hasn't got the experience, of course, but still, I'm sure he'll gain it. I think he'll get quite a few matches. So, David wants to see where it sells, yeah. But then again, I believe we were nearly on the verge of getting him at one stage. So maybe he doesn't exactly doesn't matter about Champions League to him, you know. But still, I don't think that's going to happen now anyway. I don't think he's ever going to come here, but you never know. The Saskia Guna, you should get super winger, playmaker, athlete from loan at Inter Milan, Tajon Buchanan. He's amazing and Inter would loan to you no probs. Well, yeah. Sounds a good one. Whether we could do that, I don't know. We might explore that one. I don't know. We'll wait and see. Canada, Guatemala, decent time for UK peeps. Sunday quarterfinals, Moss Sports watch along. Or what's that? Or CM Nathan Saliba just joined Anderlecht. Steal of a deal from Montreal. Yeah. Very good, mate. Yeah. Nice. That's a good one, mate. Good one. But anyway, getting on to this. Brentford pushing for £63 million Brian Bramo fee as final Manchester United talks continue. Bees want add-ons to make total deal worth more than Red Devils paying Wolves for Matthias Cunha. Brentford remain hopeful of securing a fee in the region of £63 million for Brian Bramo in an attempt to eclipse what Manchester United paid for Matthias Cunha. As Standard Sport reported earlier this week, United will pay an upfront fee of £55 million for Bramo. However, the two clubs remain locked in negotiations over the size and achievability of the add-ons included in the deal. Talks are taking place this week over the nature of those add-ons, with Brentford wanting more than £7 million in order to take them past the fee Wolves will receive for Brazilian forward Cunha. Bramo is set to earn up to $200,000 a week at Old Trafford, a sizable increase on what he currently earns at Brentford. He'll become the second signing of Ruben Amorim's first summer in charge at United. Bramo joined Brentford in 2019 from Liga 2 side Troyes for a then club record fee of $5.8 million. So we're going to make loads more on him than we pay, let's be honest, and help them secure promotion to the Premier League in his second season at the club. The Cameroonian, who's valued at $65 million by Brentford, is set to land the club a huge profit, becoming their record departure in the process, surpassing the £40 million fee they received for striker Ivan Toney last summer. Bramo has enjoyed a steady rise during his 4 years in the Premier League, but took his performances to another level last season, netting 20 goals and providing a further 8 assists as Brentford finished 10th. United need a winger this summer, with the futures of Marcus Rashford, Alejandro Garnacho and Anthony increasingly uncertain. Bramo fits their profile, with the club targeting players with Premier League experience to help Amorim in his first full season in charge. Next summer is viewed as the perfect time for Bramo to part ways with Brentford. This summer, with the club in a strong bargaining position. They hold the option to extend Bramo's contract, which expires next June, by an additional year, and Bramo at his peak market value. Bramo's departure is set to be the start of a wider exodus at Brentford following the departure of long-serving head coach Thomas Frank to Tottenham. Captain Christian Norgarrd is close to seeing the move to Arsenal. I think he already has, hasn't he? So, with a deal expected to be finalised by the weekend. Brentford have prepared for Bramo to leave for some time and will receive a fee that reflects his talent. Yes, well, so we should. His departure, though, signals a more worrying trend, with several key players now unsure of their futures at Brentford as they enter a new era post-Frank. Yeah, but surely they've got to stay. Give this new guy a go. It's always the same when you get somebody new in. You've got to stay. Come on. I know Thomas is gone. He was fantastic. What a manager. And it's been amazing for us. But he can't stay at a club. Well, we could say he can't stay at a club all his life. Fergie nearly pretty much did at Man United, but still. For me, he would have to go sooner or later. He was always going to go, let's be honest. So you just got to try and accept this. I know it is very hard. I didn't like it. But we have to move on. And we have to get to a new manager, I'm afraid. And, these players will have to try and accept the new one and see what he can do. The thing is, they do know him. He's the set-piece coach. So why should they be afraid and want to go? I don't get it. Right, Saskia Guna, 19-year-old CB at Fulham, contract coming to an end. Luke Di Fujirali, CB really playing well for Canada. Brent could sign on a free. Yeah, cheers for all this, Saskia Guna. I mean, I don't know if we're looking at these, really. I don't know. But They sound good to me, mate. If I was manager or owner or whatever, chairman, whatever there, I'd probably look into this, you know. The Saskiguna. Nico Sigur Young, CM, right back for Canada. Nico Sigur Young, central midfield, right back for Canada. Going from Highjet split to Atalanta. English clubs missing out on signing Canadian talents. Yeah, obviously. Jefferson went from Bournemouth to Preston North End. Canada has new stud striker, young promise, David, a beast, dominated Belgian league, one title for Union Saint-Gilloise. I'll promise. Yeah. Anyway, to get him, go get him, Brentford. Yeah, well, possibly. Well, let's hope so. Tony, how you doing? Visser will be lonely. Kevin Shardy, better keep rising like him. Yeah. Thing is, if he does, Shardy does keep rising, they'd want to get him as well, wouldn't they, team? Probably Spurs will. Probably Frank would want to get him as well. Yeah. Well, I'm just hoping we can keep them, Visser and Shardy, you know. We really have to. Yeah, Tony's doing well in, obviously, Saudi Arabia. He's gone there. He's getting on a lot of money, so he shouldn't he? On a lot of fucking money there. Yeah, Saskiguna making me hungry with the Tesco foods. That's not Tesco. Oh, yeah, it's Tesco's, yeah. Yeah, but I'm not trying to do advertising here, mate. It's copyright, to be honest, but it's just part of this article on there, I'm afraid, bro. Anyway, let's move on. And this is the big one that I obviously want to talk about, the new manager. It looks like it's definitely going ahead. Anyway, let's look at the new other comments. Saskiguna again. We have double Davids now up from Canada. Promise David and Jonathan. Oh, right. Promise David and Jonathan David. So they are brothers, I take it, yeah? Oh. Well, with that name Promise David, let's hope he has got a lot of promise. Pinnock and Jamaica went out at Gold Cup. Canada plays Guatemala, they beat Jamaica. Oh, well. As long as we get Pinnock back fit, I don't mind. As long as he's fit still. Need him for the new season. Up front. Yeah, Promise David is big, fast and finishes. Well, maybe we could get him then. We are exploring a lot of avenues here because we're going to have to. You know, we keep losing these players now. It could be a whole new team we're looking at next season almost, you know, for the Bees. And will we be good enough to stay up? That's the thing. And obviously here it is, Brentford agreed deal for Keith Andrews to succeed Thomas Frank as new head coach. Brentford have agreed a deal to make Keith Andrews their new head coach following the departure of Thomas Frank to Tottenham. Andrews, who joined the Bees last season as a set-piece coach, has never previously held a head coaching role. That's the problem. As Standard Sport reported back in April, Andrews previously made the four-man shortlist for the vacant managerial position at NK Dons, where he'd previously played and served as an assistant during the 2015-16 season under Carl Robinson. Andrews was also an assistant under Stephen Kenny for both the under-21s and senior Republic of Ireland team before taking up a coaching role at Sheffield United during the 23-24 campaign. Taking on the head coach role at Brentford constitutes a massive step up for Andrews, as he's set to lead the Bees into their fifth consecutive season in the Premier League. Brentford previously promoted from within when handling Frank, the head coach position, when handing Frank the head coach position in 2018 after Dean Smith's departure to Aston Villa. And the club are encouraged by the fact that Andrews knows the structure and processes, having spent a year in West London already. The decision to appoint Andrews represents the biggest risk the club have taken since promotion to the top flight in 2021. But they will point to the success of Frank as a reason to believe they have made the right decision to promote from within. Brentford had considered a number of alternative options from across Europe before landing on Andrews, with Ipswich's Kieran McKenna and Francesco Farioli, formerly of Ajax, heavily linked. Andrews' lack of experience as a number one means it will be interesting to see if Brentford opt to surround the 44-year-old with backroom staff who have head coaching credentials. Recently departed Shelbourne manager Damien Duff had been linked with becoming an assistant to Andrews, but both Duff and Brentford have since distanced themselves from those claims, so that's not happening. Ultimately, Brentford have opted for continuity in the summer of upheaval, with forward Brian Bramo set to be next to lead the club. They will trust that Andrews can steady the ship ahead of a pivotal juncture in the club's Premier League journey. So there we go, guys. Hold on a minute. Be there in a minute, guys. Just getting to something here. Yeah. For me, yeah, this is a big risk. I get it. It really is a hell of a risk. But we are going for somebody, getting them in that does know the club, has been there at least a year. Yes, he's only a set piece coach and never been at a managerial role. He's a novice. A lot of people would say it's like an Arteta signing who doesn't know about management. The thing is, I'm going to give this guy a go. You've got to. We've got to see what he can do. They obviously feel he's got something. You know, to be there for a year and set piece coach. Yes, the managerial role is a totally different thing altogether. You've got to do other things with management. It's a bigger thing, bigger picture. But I think he may just get there. He's got to be allowed a bit of time. Let's put it that way. I mean, look at all the fucking time Arteta's had. And he still won fuck all, apart from an FA Cup and 2 dinner plates since he's been at Arsenal. Yeah, we can't say we're in the same thing level as like Arsenal, but yeah, it's going to be tough, and if anything, we want him to keep us up. That might be the thing. This initial season, this transition season for him coming in, it's going to be tough. But as long as I think it's possible, he can keep us up. We can still keep some of these other good players we've got and add to it. I don't think it's going to be a total disaster. Don't think it's going to be a total shit show. Certainly hoping it isn't. And we end up, going back to the Championship. But then again, if we do, we do. I think we'd be the better team in the Championship. We'd do well there. I'm sure we'd come right back up if anything from the Championship. So, if that's going to give him this experience at least. I will just show this other article though, because I know if it doesn't work out, I think we could get rid of him fairly quick. I don't think we're going to hang on to him. I don't think we're going to do an Arsenal and keep hold of him like they have with Arteta forever and ever. I think we would be ruthless enough to dump him and get rid of him. And here's why. I'll show you this, guys. Yeah. So here we go, and this is probably a little bit different to this, different scenario to it, but this is possible. We could do this anyway if this doesn't work out. But Matthew Benham, Brentford made mistake with Marinus Dilkhausen. Brentford owner Matthew Benham says the Championship club didn't get it right whatsoever. So this obviously the Championship. We were still there, of course, in 2015. This is 15th of October 2015. Yeah, didn't get it right whatsoever when they appointed Marinus Dilkhausen as head coach in the summer. The Dutchman was sacked by the Bees in September after winning just 2 of their first 8 games of the season. So he lost 2. And they weren't afraid to get rid of him. So that tells us that maybe they'll do the same with Andrews. If they get the feeling he's not going to do anything, if he's going to be a failure, we'll get rid of him. We'll be ruthless. And that's what I get from Matthew Benham here. Well, I can read from him here that he wouldn't be afraid to get rid of him if it doesn't work out. If it looks like we're going to be in shit, he can get rid of Keith Andrews, And I know that's ruthless and whatever, cold-hearted, but you got to be like that at times, being a chairman, owner, whatever. That's the ones I like. They're not afraid to make those snap decisions. You're gone. You're out. It's not working out. So goodbye. That's what I like to see. And he knows he's making a risk here anyway, a gamble. And we all know that, because obviously the deal's agreed. He's going to be our new manager and going to be confirmed very soon as our new manager, Keith Andrews. And I trust Matthew Benham here. Because if he thinks it ain't going to work out, in the end, it's not working, he'll get rid of him. And then maybe we will get another top manager in. We probably could go for Gary O'Neill or Ange if he hasn't got in a new job. Or whatever, or that guy from Bodo Glimt. Knutson, whatever his name is, from Bodo Glimt. There will be other options if this doesn't work out. So though I'm not happy, I am pissed off with all this. I'm fucking annoyed. I think we will. That there is a sense of knowing what we're going to do here. We're not just blindly gone into this without, considering it and considering what could happen and knowing something we can get something out of this Keith Andrews. He's not just a set piece coach. He's proved that he can maybe come up with other things, other ideas. And apparently he was like that when he was apparently on Sky Sports. an analyst, whatever there, an expert, whatever you call them on there. And, they reckon he had a lot of great ideas. He was, not afraid to say things and do things, and had some fresh ideas about things and whatever. So maybe he knows more than we think. Maybe, he's never had a top role, a top managerial role. But maybe now's the time, and maybe he will hit the ground running and get us doing something. Okay, we're not going to be ever going to be top 6. Well, not for a long time anyway. If we can make mid-table again or lower, slightly lower, even if we're near relegation, as long as we stay up. For me, that's his actual job here, to keep us up. If he does that, I think he'll have the experience and then kick on for next season. But as I said, I still think Matthew Benham will get rid of him if it doesn't work out. If it's not working out, he'll let him go. So anyway, it says here, we did a lot of research and looked at his record, Benham said. One of the big mistakes we made is that we got quite far down the line and were pretty committed. And then we got a very bad reference. We discounted it. Dilkhausen, 43, had been a lower league manager in the Netherlands before an 18-month stint with Excelsior. He led the Rotterdam-based club to promotion to the Dutch Eredivisie and kept the club in the top flight last season, finishing 15th. The bad reference was from the agent of someone who was a substitute in his team. Benham added. We said, of course it's a bad reference. He's bitter about not playing. We can ignore that. It is a mistake I have made many times over the years in betting. Once you are committed to a certain bet and you get some evidence that goes against it, you easily dismiss it. It's confirmation bias. The reference didn't agree with our views, so we ignored it. Speaking at the Matchbook Traders Conference in London on Wednesday, Benham also said he was unhappy with the term Moneyball being applied to the West London club. Benham has increased the use of analytics and statistics at Griffin Park, which it was then, of course, no longer. It's the G-Tech now. Griffin Park this season, following the successful introduction of similar methods at Danish champions FC Midtjylland, whom he also owns. Moneyball is a system which emerged in baseball, in which the smart use of undervalued statistics allowed financially disadvantaged teams to compete with better resource rivals. The Moneyball idea wasn't using any old statistics, but using statistics in an academic and scientific exercise to predict things, he said. The label can be very confusing. People just think it is using any stats rather than trying to use them in a scientific way. It is almost inevitable that most of the media will say they will only use analytics and there will be no human interaction whatsoever. Right, so that was it. So as I say, looking at that, he's not afraid to make a big decision and a ruthless decision, Matthew Benham. I mean, look, okay, it works. When we got Frank in, he was initially an assistant. I don't think also he had a proper managerial role, but I've got to have a look at that, guys. Hold on a minute. Trying to think if he did have a major manager role, Thomas Frank. Hold on a minute. Want to see. Just look at where he was, if he has managed before. I believe it's only Brentford. But then again, there could be a few more. Oh, he was, he was with Bromby as well. Of course, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, he managed Bromby. But, yeah, that's only one previous managerial role. He was still a novice. He hadn't really he never managed in the Premier before. But then again, this guy I don't have either. So, Keith Andrews. So, it's he was only an assistant for a while at Brentford as well. Assistant coach. So, we're doing almost similar. Okay, this guy is not a Thomas Frank, Keith Andrews, nowhere near. And never will be as good as him, obviously. But, at the end of the day, I think, he could be. He could be good in the end. And I'm willing to give him a go. Let's give him a try and see what he can do. And if it all goes to shit, it looks like it's going to be shit, get rid of him, which they can do. They've done it. They've done it before. They got rid of a manager before when he wasn't going well. So, give him a little bit of time, sure. But not loads, not consistently, if it's not working out. And I'm sure Brentford will know this. Matthew Benham will know. And if he really has aspirations to keep us in the Premier, Matthew Benham, he won't keep him here if he's failing, if he's going to fail. But we don't know that yet. Let's get him in. Let's get him going. Let's, get him introduced to the other players again. To some that obviously Kelleher, he doesn't know. Oh, no, well, with Ireland, I don't know. He's Irish, isn't he? So he may know him. He may know him. So, but yeah, there are still some he might want to talk to there more. They do know him. He's, as I say, he's been the set piece coach. So, I don't know. I was going to really go into one on here and rant, but I still think there are some things here, pluses, that still look good for me. Yeah. I hate the fact we got rid of Norgarrd to Arsenal. Our glue in midfield, he was superb last season, brilliant. But then again, if they're saying maybe he's had his best years, we've had his best years, and Arsenal might get a deteriorating player. It's them that are taking the gamble in the end, isn't it? And pay. Okay, they've not paid loads, but they could end up spending on somebody that might fail for them. I hope he doesn't, because I think he's been brilliant for us. And I wish him all the best at Arsenal. I really do. And then, of course, Bramo going to United. Looks like it's going to happen. We're still finalising that. We do want this more money, and we should get it for him because he's quality. He's been amazing. 20 goals last season. We should get more money for him. For me, I think he should be at least 70, 80 tops for him, But there we go. If we get 65, say, or a little bit more with add-ons, I think that's what we should get. And let's make sure we get it from United. They're not going to bloody bend us over like fucking Arsenal did, No, fuck that. But, but anyway, if we, obviously Andrews is going to be the manager, so let's see what he can do. Be up to you, Abraham. Be up to you, bro. I'm going to be going very soon, man. So any comments you want to put them in quickly. Because because I won't be on here much longer. Been on here since 7. Yeah, Abharam Gadwala. I know nothing about football. Well, don't worry about it, bro. It's not an issue, is it? And, you know, if you like watching it still, it doesn't matter. Or, you know, you don't have to watch it even. You probably don't know if you like it or not. Like watching it, but, you know, it's good, except when it's a team you love and you supported all your life nearly. And this happens, but I still don't think it's a total disaster yet. I've still got hopes. I'm still got fingers crossed that, you know, this will work out in the end. You know, if more players go, we've got to accept that, I guess. But as long as we get replacements in and you know, proper ones, good ones, that's what I want. That's all I want, you know. Let's get the proper replacements in, and especially for Bramo. And, you know, I mean, there's still talk about Nicholas Kuhn from Celtic, and even, you know, I thought about maybe Madueke from Chelsea. I think he's about 50 mil, and we certainly had that money. If we want to get him, he'd be a good replacement for me, I think. Noni Madueke from Chelsea. Kev Flavin there, keep the faith, Mr. B. Yeah. Don't worry, man. I will try. You know, we got to move on, mate. We got to do it. You know, life goes on and things move on, and we have to get used to it. You know, it's life after Frank now, and it's all going to be a lot of changes. So, you know, let's see how we get on. We now got pre-season. We got, you know, we've already got a couple of games confirmed. I believe against QPR, one of them, and I think it's Borussia Dortmund. I think we're playing as well in friendlies. With others to be confirmed. So, you know, we're going to see how we get on. I'm sure Keith Andrews will be in by then. And he'll pick his team. Obviously, he's going to get his backroom staff sorted out. That's another important thing. And I'm sure I'm still trusting in us to do well here and sort this out. It was very worrying. It was worrying for me, all this happening. But at the end of the day, if we get it right, that's all that counts. We can get this right still and come out of this good or even better, then I'm happy, you know. But if it all looks like it's going to go to shit, I won't be. And there'll be a lot more rants from me next season. But we'll see, guys. And we got to see what happens. We got to let it go and see what happens. So anyway, follow me on Insta, Mr. B for Life 182, and subscribe to Mr. B Hiver Football Chat and Mr. B Chats England Cricket. Please keep subbing, guys. Especially if you're new, please sub to me. Smash the likes. I lost a sub or two again. I don't know why. I think I'm on 130 at the moment. But if you do love this content, please sub and smash the likes, please, guys. You know, it means a lot to me. You know, please do that. I want to get up to 150, and you know that's a milestone. If I can get to that soon, and then obviously get to 200, it's been a long while coming because I've been doing this at least nearly 2 years, I guess now. This channel, so been going a long time. So please sub, and as I say, smash the likes. There'll be plenty more of these streams coming because obviously once the new manager's in, I'll be doing a stream for that, for Keith Andrews, of course. When we get this Milambo confirmed, I'm sure it's happening, apparently. I hope he doesn't change his mind. Looks like he's going to join Anthony Milambo, so that's a good one. At least we're getting a player in. That's good to hear, good to see. And obviously Norgarrd's proper confirmation going to Arsenal, and Bramo going to United. We'll obviously confirm all that. And then obviously whatever else happens, I'll bring the streams out. So a little bit worried, still a little bit downhearted and less confident, but I still think I'm going to believe at the moment and think we can come out of this. You know, it's almost a crash and a big smash, a crash disaster, but we might come out of it unscathed in the end. So we will see. But for the time being, guys, I'm going to bounce, you know. And as I say, probably maybe a sub in the next few days, a stream in the next few days, depending. I don't know. Obviously, whatever happens, if we get other news happening, there'll be another stream. But it'll be very soon anyway. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Live on playback. And I'm going to bounce. Cheers, guys. I'm out of here. Cheers. Cheers, everyone. Thanks. Bye.